Yeah, I feel like her life kind of blew up at the end of last season, so we definitely do have to deal with the fallout of that. And we pick up 3 months later, so we'll learn like where she's been. She's been struggling, but it's a different struggle now because now her secret is out. And I think the fear of I have the secret, and if people know, they won't accept me was so much of last season, and now it's like, shit, I was right. You know, I'm like, great. So thanks for living up to that expectation. You know, so I think there's a lot of like your biggest fear being realized is a lot of what she'll be.
How much of season 2 have you already shot?
We haven't shot any of season 2. We have 2 scripts. We've written 2 scripts, and I think we've broken 5. So and we start production on the 20th, maybe.
DC.
They know when to start. New characters. Yes, you will see a new character. I can't tell you who they are, but I can tell you that you saw them once last season, briefly, and now they're a character. So.
DC has some of the most popular shows out there right now, and I'm curious, was there an added pressure going into this, knowing that you're part of DC?
No, it was so weird. Like, it was like the least, out of all the shows I've done and pilots and all the like bullshit, like this was like the easiest, nicest, like everybody was just really nice and respectful and very interested in our take. And I don't know if it's just working with Rob. It's like the John Hamm gorgeous bubble on 30 Rock. It's like the success bubble. Like I'm like, is this how it is all the time? Like, but yeah, they were just super supportive and like really into the take. And the comic writers have been super supportive and into it, which is because if they hated it, I would just be miserable and I couldn't, you know, it would suck. So them loving it and being supportive of it is amazing. So
now Peyton and Major both know you're talking about that.
Yeah.
Will we see Peyton's reaction too? If she's not series regular, are we going to see?
I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that. I can tell you nothing. I'm sorry.
What would you kind of say is kind of the big bad this season? You know,
well, we still have Blaine, and we will see Steven Weber. Max Rager is still will become a bigger part of the show, and we will see the delightful Steven Weber again, who is so awesome. And I was telling Rob that I wanted the Max Rager offices. I wanted his office to have like a real tree with fruit so that he could actually like take a piece of scenery and eat it. Either him or Blaine, one of them, but yeah, so he'll be back a little bit.
We're seeing a lot of different love lines go on, and I'm curious because CW is a perfect place to have that happen. Was that always in the plan?
It was. I mean, we always knew that there'd be like a Liv, Major, or something else happening. But to be honest, when we wrote the show, we didn't know our Robbie was going to be like so hot. like that was like we actually wrote him originally for an older actor, and then we get this like young, super hot like British dude that all the girls are just like hot doctor, and then we're like, well, he's got to be screwing somebody. I mean, look at him. He's getting it somewhere. Let's like film it. So yeah, so that guy.
Video games could get it.
Sorry?
Isn't he too busy playing video games?
No, I think he's just busy being handsome and having Elvis hair, you know. But like, so once he kind of changed the game, because you can't have him and then be like, I'm the dorky video guy who never gets laid, because you know the second he leaves the house, like he had that scene this year where he's like, I'm a doctor, I have an accent, like I don't even need to be this good looking, but it's true, like so you have to play him having romances. And then I just look at Malcolm and I'm like, well, how is he not having, like, what's his secret life? You know he's going home and there's just ladies, so we need to know more about that. So we will see more of Clive's personal life.
Are we going to have more of the Robbie and Marshall Rose show? Because I love watching them live in their apartment.
Them together? Yeah, there'll be a lot of them together. And there'll be a lot of my personal favorite to write is Robbie Major, and we'll have a lot of that because I love writing them. That's my. I usually my favorite to usually write is the villain. Like I would normally be like, my favorite thing to write is Blaine, but I love writing Robbie.
Now you have more of an episode count now because you're starting in the fall, right? So
yeah. Well, we're picked up for 13. We still have to get to that 9.
Okay. So how does that change the way you're writing the show?
It was hard because when you do 13, like you know when your end is, so you break it as like here's where we're getting to, and then we have 13 episodes to get there, and then it's like here's where we want to get to. I don't know when we want to get there, like because you just don't know. So and you don't want to. give it short shrift, so you don't want to blow your load by 13 and then get the back 9 and be like, what are we going to do now? So it's a lot harder to negotiate when you don't know. Because one of the great things about working with Rob is that we both like to answer questions at the end of the season. Like, you leave some things open, but you want people to go away feeling satisfied, like feeling like this was a complete journey, you knew where you were going, like you're not just jerking us around. So you want to have a complete answer, so it is a little bit harder when you don't know if it's 13 or 22. I have to say, I was saying this before, it's like, I like 13, and like as a writer, story-wise, I feel like 13 is great. Getting paid for 22 is lovely. Having 22 episodes is lovely, but so either way,
But do you feel like these days it's better to do 13 than 22? Because it always feels like
I wonder if it's changing, because like they have so many, like the CW has a lot of mid-season shows. So I don't know if that's going to be like the new thing, is that you have 13 episodes of a show and then a mid-season show, and if that's kind of the new way of doing things in the future, I don't know.
it just feels like the storytelling is a lot tighter.
And a lot of the like UK series I watch, or like other shows from other places, they do that. I feel like it is tighter, and then then you watch it on Netflix and you binge watch it, and it's so maybe it's changing. I don't know, but I think we have to be prepared for either. So, but like a show like The 100, that's so like they know where they're going. Like they're doing 16, and they know like they need that. So it's a little bit different for a show like that versus us, who has a procedural, so we'll be able to go a little longer. But I don't know.
Are you planning on pulling any more from the comic books?
No, we're always inspired by the comic book, so I can't say that we're not, like that's always like part of what we're doing, but we firmly decided not to have other worldly characters. Like it's zombies. We're not gonna have a vampire, we're not gonna have a war terrier, we're not gonna have a ghost, and I feel like that works great for the comic, and I just think it's not right for our show, and so yeah, but we still wind up being like inspired by it. I'm very excited because I've met Chris Robertson, who wrote the book, but I've never met Michael Allred. We're meeting him on Saturday, so I'm very excited.
How do you know the fine line between the book and doing a TV show based on the book and making it your own thing?
I'm sorry, what was the first part of that?
How do you walk the fine line between you have a huge audience for the book?
They really walk the line with it. They came to us with Warner Brothers came to us with the book, and they said they left it open to us to do whatever we wanted with it, and we just said like, here's what we think will work for television, and here's what we think will work for us, and they were all very receptive to it. So it wasn't something. I guess it's different if you're doing like a show that is like if you're writing the new Star Wars movie, or you're writing the new Star Trek movie, and you have like all these Trek movies, and you're like, oh my god, I better know everything. It was a little bit more because it was so underground. While they had a huge fan base and a loyal fan base, we were open to change it and have those people just hate us. But they seem to be pretty into it too. So. But as long as the creators are cool with it, it kind of doesn't. It bums me out if the fans don't like it, but the creators liking it is more important to me, actually. Yeah. As a writer,
So if you have to come out of the norm now, and is it going to be harder for those kind of personality-wise? Are there people that you want to have Rose basically play? Last year, so much of the fun her and Jesse, did it inspire you guys' thoughts of?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think definitely we've learned that we approach the brains differently this time, because I think we definitely learned that the bigger and the more readily recognizable the brain, the better it is. Like when she played a sociopath, it's like, is she just in a bad mood? What's happening? But when she was a cheerleader or a stoner or a gamer, like you can see it, and it just makes it more fun. So we're definitely kind of amping that up this year.
Thank you so much.